Reynolds.
Well, William Daniel, of course, was part of the BBC Introducing Tour, which, if you're unaware of, is where the BBC showed that extra bit of support for up-and-coming DJs and producers throughout the summer. He is the resident at the legendary Inside Out at the Arches in Glasgow. He joins me live on the line now. William Daniel, how are you?
I'm great, Phil. Just finished a hard day at the studio making some music, so it's all good,
You're a man after my own heart. Your new productions are top-notch. Excellent feedback from all the DJs I've spoken to. How are your tracks going down in the clubs?
They've been going down very well, to be honest. I've got 4 or 5 things coming out, hopefully in the early part of 2009 on labels like Spinning, Reset, got a thing that's almost signed to Bandit, and also a thing on Armin van Buuren's label, Armada. So been playing them out Inside Out quite a lot, and the crowd seem to be reacting to them quite positively. So hopefully they do well, and I just hope other people like them.
On that aspect there, you did just say Armin van Buuren.
Yep.
The 2008/2009 best DJ in the world, and you could quite possibly sign his record. That's not a bad going for somebody from Glasgow.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all. It's a track called Shining Delta that's been signed to the Combined Forces sub-label of Armada, which Armin van Buuren owns as well. So that was like one of my first really big ones. So that's hopefully coming out really soon. I keep getting people on the MySpace and the Bebo asking me when it's released. But hopefully with all things going well, it'll be released early 2009 because it's been a bit of a while.
Well, the last time we caught up was at the first Parklife back in September in Glasgow. I caught you the outdoor stage. Brilliant festival. How did you find it yourself?
Absolutely and totally loved it. Just to actually be involved in it, Phil, was an absolute privilege. I feel really humbled that I actually got the opportunity to take part in something which I feel was a bit of a moment in Scottish clubbing, to be honest. I think to have an event of that magnitude and something to rival the Colours Fest festival in a setting like Strathclyde Park was quite phenomenal, and I think the crowd, the atmosphere and all the DJs, everyone involved done themselves all proud, so all the hard work certainly paid off for everyone there. I think it was a top event all round and everyone seemed to enjoy it.
So where can the clubbers find you playing this weekend? What is your dance floor destinations? Where are you on the ones and twos banging out the tunes?
Well, this weekend I've got a rare weekend off, thankfully, Phil, so I'm just going to focus on some studio productions and just get some more studio time put in there and just get that all done this weekend. Other than that, next week you can catch me at a massive God's Kitchen festival at the Royal Highland Showground in Ingliston, which has got 12,500 people. We're hosting a free-fall arena there, and there's loads of local guys, and then you've got guys like Ferry Costin headlining the God's Kitchen tent. You've also got a polysexual versus Sunday Sensual arena, which caters for all the hard house stuff, and I'm sure there's a Back to the Future and a hardcore arena there for those of you who like to say things a bit harder and all that music.
So as much as I've just mentioned September in the past tense, as scary as it sounds, the summer's over, Christmas and New Year's are on the doorstep, should we say. Have you any plans?
For this Christmas and New Year, as always, it's the Inside Out, which I usually do over the festive season, and with the Inside Out we're doing the 27th, which is usually a big event for us this year, and this year's no exception. We're doing something called a Black Party, which is a theme party. And we've also got guys like your Irish wonder kid John O'Callaghan, he's headlining. You've got Jules as well, Sander Van Doorn, who's a bit of a Dutch sensation, Marcel Woods, DJ Preach, and then you've also got the Tidy Boys, Lady Dana and Savage, and Phil York doing a boutique showcase. So that's on the 27th, and that's a black themed party. And then on New Year's Eve we've also got that as well. We usually do the double up with that, so that's on the 31st, and we've got Agnelli and Nelson playing at that one. Solar Stone, also Scottish tech trance legend Mark Sherry, also got Zany, Kutsky, Andy Whitby and Van Dal playing, and then you've got the residents also providing some support for that. So it's going to be a bit of a hectic festive season for me, so hopefully I get a bit of time to relax in between them and don't go a bit too mad with the partying, but I'm sure I'll pace myself, Phil, as you do.
As maybe, if you could say the word cheesy as it sounds, that's a pretty good Christmas present for the people of Scotland. Now, for people who need to know information on yourself, William Daniel, where can they find it?
You can catch me on, if you do all the social networking stuff, which seems to be a phenomenon these days, you can catch me on the MySpace. I'll just give you the address for that, Phil. It's www.myspace.com/WDanielMusic. And also you can check out all my latest productions and gigs and all other info about me there. And if you use the Bebo thing as well, it's just www.bebo.com and then it's /Will 23rd Precinct, and that's just 23rd with the 23 RD.
Getting back to April, this year, a very special event happened at the legendary Arches, which I was at. For the rest of my life, I'll never ever forget it. Barry Connell played his first ever Essential Mix, and as sad as it was his last ever Essential Mix. He's a legend to me, he's a legend to you, he's a legend to everyone in the United Kingdom, and he would soon be a legend to the world. How do you think it's affected dance music with the loss of Barry Connell?
To be perfectly honest, Barry was one of my good friends, if not one of my closest friends, for 15, almost 17 years. So I was there with him before he kind of broke through. And also I remember the days when we used to sit in his bedroom and stuff and play music and just think to ourselves how wonderful it would be if either of us actually made it and got to just play out in front of people in clubs. And with all due respect to Barry, he was the best that I've ever seen and probably one of the best that I will ever see. Just his absolute passion for dance music and just his flair and just to be perfectly honest, just the type of person that Barry was, to be honest. He was well loved and received by everyone, even though he was so very humble and didn't think a lot of folk maybe did vibe on him as much as they really did. He was a bit of a phenomenon and someone that, it's been quoted many times, was destined to be an absolute superstar DJ. And I just can't work out, to be honest, how it happened or why after his Essential Mix that he did pass away. But I think in Scotland especially, and playing it inside out, he is sorely missed. He always brought that something extra to a night and also managed to just take things up a bit and just raise the levels and the atmosphere in a crowd. And I'm sure wherever he's played and wherever he was going to play, he's extremely missed as well. I think Barry played a certain style of music which I always loved, and I was always the first one when he played to just be like that to him, what's that track, or how'd you do that trick, or just to try and figure out where he was getting his music from, or just how he was doing his tricks. But I don't know, I think the word legend for Barry doesn't even sum him up enough. He was truly a special guy and somebody that I do miss loads, and I do still think about him every day.
We spoke about Barry's first production, which I think is fantastic. It's been released on the Good Grief label. It's called Fizz Bomb. What do you think of it?
I think the Fizz Bomb thing was named after Barry's fiancée Amanda, after some of our bad hair days, which she didn't have that many of, but when she did, Barry used to always call her Fizz Bomb. So it was a fitting tribute to Amanda. It was his wife-to-be, and she's a great girl, to be honest. But getting onto the track and not diverting a bit, Fizz Bomb's an absolute peach of a track. It absolutely ripped up Barry's Essential Mix, and I'm thinking it's going to do really well when it's released. It's got mixes from Davy Forbes, John O'Callaghan, Brian Kearney and Paul Webster, who were a few of Barry's closest friends and people who Barry supported music throughout many a year. So it's released on the 4th of November on Good Grief Digital. You can buy it on all good download stores like your Beatport, your Track It Down, Audio Jelly, and all the big ones. And all proceeds of this goes to the Connell and Cross Meningitis Foundation, which I've sent up just to help people with the condition and to raise some money for the condition that Barry tragically passed away from. So if you can and you like the track, support it, because it's going to be an absolute beast and all money goes to a good cause.
Well, William, thanks so much for speaking to us, and I'll see you on the dance floor, as I always say.
Yeah, definitely, Phil. It's always a pleasure to see you too, and we'll grab a beer sometime. Thanks for the interview, and I hope everyone's well. Cheers.
Brilliant. Thanks, William.